and I'll explain in a second. But what low hanging fruit could be considered is new leads. They feel productive. Uh, and here's the thing: your pipeline already has buyers inside of it, and follow up. To Chase's point, is where all your money is, right? But the low hanging fruit is leads. So how much did we talk about today? Like lead generation and talking to new people and collecting new leads. We talked a lot about it at events, at the Parade of Homes. Like you guys are out lead generating. So I don't want you guys to listen to this and then hear that generating new leads is not important. But I want you to hear that there are other things that we have to prioritize. So first, I want to go through this story. Jay Papasan, do you guys know who that is?
Yeah. Yes.
He's the author of The One Thing, along with Gary Keller. So if you've never read that book, it's actually a really good book. But he recently on his podcast talked about writing the One Thing, and originally it was 400 pages. So they put like 4 years of research into the book, and it was 400 pages, and they sent it to the publisher, and the publisher came back and said, "Hey, why don't you guys practice your one thing theory on the book, and come back to me with a book that's about one thing." And so they had to go and like carve out like they got rid of 160 pages, and they came back, and then they sent it to the publisher, and guess what? The publisher still cut more stuff out. But he went over some of the things that didn't make the cut. And one of them was the low hanging fruit. So here's the story that he had. So they were having a meeting, and they had a productive idea come up. And like most entrepreneurial teams, everyone in the room got excited. They were so excited about this new idea. It was a good idea. It could make money, and it felt productive. You could almost feel the energy shift in the room, is what he said. This is it. This is something we should go do. That's what everybody decided. So, and as the CEO, he said he had to slow things down. He asked one simple question: is this actually a good idea, or is this just low hanging fruit? And here's what he meant: is this actually aligned with the long term goal, or is it just something that's tempting us because it's easy to do right now? Because the reality is they were already on path, they were already focused, and they already had something that was harder but more important. And this new idea, it wasn't wrong, it just wasn't aligned. So now I'm going to talk about it as it pertains to your guys' business. Any ideas on where you think I'm going to take it? Any ideas? Nowhere? Where do you think I'm going to take it, Francesca? I feel like you have an idea.
Maybe just focus, like having multiple ways of lead generating, whereas like maybe just focusing your attention on one real method to get you there faster. Like if you're gonna do the open house route, then go full throttle with that. Or if you're gonna make calls, then be here 9 to 3 making your call. I don't know.
What Francesca said is to zero in on
a main way of lead generating.
Yeah, that's close. And I'm gonna like double down on this. I'm not saying lead generation isn't important. Lead generation is definitely important. But here's the connection: not everything that feels productive is actually aligned to your goals. So feeling productive doesn't equal being productive. Some activities create the sensation of progress while quietly pulling you away from them. So I'm going to pick on you again, Francesca. You ready? This is why I called you on the first time. So what happened when you were in the business and you were doing everything every single day to close business, and you went to Chase because you weren't closing business? What did Chase do? Can I have a microphone? Do you remember?
Yes.
What did he do?
Again, this conversation.
I love this conversation.
He pretty much shut me off on all new leads, and then I had to just focus on 450 leads in your database.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you a question.
Out of order.
When you were calling the new leads, did you feel productive?
Yes, that was my life source.
Why did you feel productive?
Because it's a new fresh lead, and you're hoping it'll take you to $1 million sale.
The new fresh lead you're hoping will take you to a fresh sale.
Yes.
So here's the thing. You guys, a lot of people in this room are doing the same thing Francesca was doing. And Francesca may even be guilty of this today. All of us fall prey to it. It's because it feels easy. The most dangerous distraction is the one that looks like work. It feels good because you see it. You're like, I know how to do this. I'm going to call these new people, have fresh conversations. But it's low hanging fruit. Easy activity. Low hanging fruit equals doing what's easy, not what's effective. So in Francesca's example, it was easy to call the new leads. Wasn't the most effective thing for her to do. So now let's continue the story, Francesca. You got cut off from all new leads and you have to start calling through the pipeline of people. What happened to your business?
Well, I think that week I set like 10 appointments. And then I ended up, I just went pending like every other month after that.
Okay, so your business grew.
Yes.
Okay. For agents, this is what it looks like. Tell me if you fall into the same story. Constantly chasing new leads, constantly starting new conversations, or launching new marketing ideas, social media campaigns, all of those things. Anybody anybody relate to that? I mean, we literally just had a meeting or part of the meeting talking about all the great things we did this weekend. And is that me saying that you shouldn't do those things?
No.
Okay, these are not bad activities, but they must come after the most important thing, which is follow-up. Your existing pipeline deserves your attention first. Every single time, without exception. The people already in motion are your highest value opportunities. The people you've already identified in a pipeline. So what does that pipeline look like? This is our $1 million database reality. This is the pipeline. You should have people identified as now. What does that mean if they're identified as now?
That they're ready to, they're
buying right now.
moved, and they're looking to buy a home.
And if you have them identified as now, how often should you be following up with them?
Every day.
Okay. So what are some things that prevent us from following up with those people?
Calling new leads.
Calling new leads. What are some other things?
Dealing with other now business.
Dealing with other now business,
Being at busy events.
being in busy events, not a problem, but like, are you intentional at before, at, or after events too, right? What about not knowing what to say? Like if you have a right now person, you should probably be talking to them every day. But also it kind of gets in the way of feeling like a pest, like calling them every day and be like, hey, just checking in. You still searching for a house? Anything I can do to help you? Anybody ever have that issue? Don't know what to do. So what do you do instead? How can you follow up with someone every single day that you should be touching?
Send them homes that they're interested in.
Teresa says,
I still
Sorry,
think
Teresa.
some of those like things that you would put down, like the market statistics or the data, like we talked about and daily growth this morning, like some sort of item of value where I don't necessarily have to talk to them. Like that, but anyways, I don't necessarily have to talk to them, but I'm still providing like an item of value that's still steamy, especially if I know they're opening my emails. But that's good, or I'll try to text them if not, but because I'm not like that's the thing I thought it was like feel like what do I say tomorrow? We're in the same situation, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got one that's on vacation for 10 days and I still feel like I probably, even though it's on vacation, I probably still need to surface. So she surfaces when she's back.
Well, it's tag team. Like,
Yeah, that's true. I call her, like, have you heard from that person? How about you check in today?
Yeah.
yeah, think about it. Like Chase and I do daily growth every single day. We're literally thinking every day, what value can we bring tomorrow? That's how you should be thinking for your clients. Like things should be popping up and you should be noticing your RAS should be going off. You know that person is looking for X, Y, or Z or needs something specific. You should be showing them that you're investing time in them and their priorities. And the way you do that is by sending an item of value. Hey, I thought of you. This popped up. Just wanted to make sure it was in front of you.
Thank you.
That's a great way to follow up on a daily basis to make sure that you're the person they're selecting. Chase, were you gonna say something?
Well, I was gonna say like, all these new leads coming in. It means very little if you don't intend to follow up. And so probably the easiest way to follow up, Brent, or be consistent with it is how you're gonna follow up in your current conversation.
Mm.
So before you leave, you set up the next appointment.
What does that look like?
I mean, I think it can be a lot of different things. If they're literally a right now buyer, first of all, I mean, I don't want to assume anything here, so I'm assuming you've already signed them. Right? But some of you have people that are ready, willing, and able to buy right now, and you haven't signed them. I mean, you should close for a consult and get them signed. Then you should be calling, hey, I haven't spent anything yet. I just sent a message out to my team, seeing if they had anything. Have you seen anything since you've been looking? Okay, awesome. I'm gonna check back with you tomorrow. I'm gonna see if my team gets back and I'll let you know. Like you could tee up 100 different things,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think you just hit on a really important point. I think all of you right now should ask yourself how many people you have identified as now and how many of those people do you actually have signed?
And
If you don't have signed, signed, that would be my first, like, I would be so urgent in getting appointments scheduled for these people to sign them.
to take it even further, Brent, like there's no one in any of those up there. If someone's buying in the next 60 days, I'm signing them.
They should sign it.
Yeah, I'm closing for the meeting and I'm getting them signed. Does anyone have any disagreements with this?
No.
Okay, everyone agrees, so then that's the question. In fact, I think I mentioned this recently. I don't know if it was DJ or here. But I do this with my paid coaching clients. I pull up their pipeline and I'm like, tell me why you didn't sign this person. And then, we talk for 5 minutes and then they agree they need to sign them. And then we go to the next one. And we basically do it with every single one of their people that's looking to buy or sell in the next 12 months. Why? Because that's how they're going to get paid. And it's not any different in this room.
Well, and there's something to be said too. When someone signs, it becomes real for them. They like start looking more often. They start getting serious about the process. So there's also a way to leverage it to move your pipeline along as well. So people get serious. So be honest with yourself. Who did you talk to last week? Did you talk to a majority of new leads or did you talk to a majority of your pipeline? Was your pipeline even included in that? That's what I would ask. Did you prioritize the people who have shown interest in moving forward over those new fresh leads? Because new fresh leads feel good. Like people beg us for leads all the time. Go ahead.
I hate to keep jumping in, Brett, but like the what goes through my mind is like, who'd you talk to 6 months ago that said they're gonna be ready in 6 months? And where are they at?
Yeah.
Because every single year for the last, since I've been in this business, they're gonna wait till spring, they're gonna wait till spring, they're gonna wait till spring, they're gonna wait till spring. And then but it's spring, yes. You see,
Yeah.
right? And are you following up with them? And I think sometimes you guys cut yourself short. Because you're like, well, I called them and left them voicemail 6 months ago. They never called me back. They ghosted me. Guys, they're not ghosting you. They're just busy and you're not their priority, but they are your priority. So like you gotta flip.
And you need to show them that they are your priority.
100%.
You have to show that.
Found another agent because you didn't follow up enough.
Yeah, because they became another agent's priority.
Well, but if they found another agent, Rebecca, they'll just tell you. And so I agree with you. But until they tell you that, they haven't. It is my
Right. I see what you're saying.
not to be wrong, but I'm just like,
Yes, you are, but it's okay.
no, yeah, if you don't call them, they will find another agent.
So the whole fellow thing, when it tells me someone's listed in my database, like I literally cringe when fellow
Yeah.
you out. Like, holy shit, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's my own.
Even when it's your own, it's still more.
So,
You
yeah.
don't see it until you click it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
I had one this weekend and I was like, most of the time or every time, I don't even know who they are. Like I don't recognize their name, which tells me that I'm really vulnerable right now. 900 people that show as leads in my database that Emery keeps hammering me on. Because I imported everything and they're old listing leads, they're online leads, they're all this stuff. But they're older and they convert. I've converted two that literally 3 years ago. But it's a very intentional for me to be like, okay, you have to call 20 of them and convert them to 6 to 12 months or whatever and get them out of the lead stage because it just reaffirms to me like there's business in that database, even if you don't know that you were get to know. 'Cause it's totally there.
Those fellow emails are
Well, and
emails on chat.
you ever called,
Yeah.
one of our ponds and someone said they just bought like a month ago? Has that ever happened to you? Yeah. Anyone? I'm literally seeing everyone nod. Every time I call, right? Every time I call.
Yep.
Like, it's probably 20% of the people, and I'm like, man, what if I would have called 2 months ago? Could I have been the agent?
What one is this?
Every month, every month.
I feel like my database is full of people who should not be in there because I was an ISA and I made a lot of calls and put a lot of people in there that I probably didn't vet very well. So then when I try to call back or to follow up, it's either a lot of crickets or they're not like real leads. So that feels like kind of overwhelming.
Well, who was on Thursdays? Who's on Thursday's Daily Growth Call with me? Anyone? One, two, couple of you? So I think you should go watch that, Ty, and I think everyone should go watch that. And we talked about the goal reduction. Yeah, we talked. I drew an awesome drawing.
Yeah.
You see it? No, it was really bad, but we just talked about like the whole idea, Ty. And this is where Francesca, this is kind of the magic behind what Francesca was so attached to all these people. But the second we took them away, she started selling homes. And it's the same thing in your database. You're like, I added too many people that shouldn't be in there. Like, you should have a lot of freedom to go in there and just call, get rid of them. It should be the best feeling possible. Like, I'd rather, yeah, I showed 2 scenarios in there. So here's the screen, the preview of going and watching that. Aaron, can you send that out to everyone? Thank you. I said show 2 scenarios. One agent, both agents have 400 people. One of them calls all 400. The other one is down to 100. And so you only have time to make 4 calls, right? To each one of these people. But like, well, who's going to get more business? The one who doesn't know who the buyers are, or the one who's gotten rid of the 300 people that are never going to buy and sell them? Like, which database do you want? Yeah, we all want the 100 one, but we get really attached to these people.
Well, and here's the thing, guys, that you should also consider is we've built a system for unresponsive business. Like, if you get rid of it, you're not getting rid of it for life. Like, maybe you won't get that exact lead back, but if you just put it in the data bank and let our system work, it finds hand raises. You guys see the hand raises every single day, you know, with someone saying, hey, with Anne-Marie popping in and saying this person's interested today. Like, those are hand raises. You're not cutting it loose and never getting an opportunity back. But what you're doing is freeing up your mind share to devote it to the things, to the people that are actually going to transact in your world. And it's a freeing thing that you can do to your mind and to your business to have the capacity to handle it, which actually leads into the conversation I had on Friday. So if you weren't there for that. So here's the truth though, guys. When you're chasing the low-hanging fruits and you're not focused on your pipeline, you're choosing uncertainty over probability. Even though, here's what's crazy, is the uncertain thing feels the best. Because with the follow-up that we have to have, there's probably objections we have to handle. There's probably unanswered questions. There's probably some conflict, whatever. With the new person, there's no predetermined objections yet. So it feels good to call and look for the come list me right now deal. But the reality is, if you get those leads, you're gonna have to call through so many to get the, you know, come list me or I want to buy right now. Those do exist. But if your whole business was based on that strategy, you're going to close 2 deals a year because you have to sift through so much dirt to find those little tiny gold nuggets. So what probability looks like though is follow up with people already in motion, continuing conversations already started, and working with your pipeline by timing. So those 0 to 60, anything in the 60-day, that's your highest priority. Next priority is 60 to 90 days and then on. And then converting what you've already built. So, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're over on time. Holy cow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the reset that I want you guys to think about. Pipeline first, work by timing, ask the daily question. Who is the closest to a decision that I haven't talked to? And then at a minimum, build a top 10 list. How many times, I think Rebecca talks about it, Kara talks about it, they're trying to get you to bring them. If you don't have a top 10 pipeline, I don't care if your top 10's buying in the next 2 years or 5 years. If you're busy, they're probably buying in the next 60 days. If you're new, they're probably buying in the next year and a half. Identify people that are on the fence or that may or may not, or that may buy, and have that top 10 list. And that's the list you should constantly be working through to improve and add hotter people onto it. All right. We don't have time for ahas and comments. So for that, have a great week. Sorry, I was talking. Chase was talking. Chase.